Hello, my name is Greatman Ayilara, and I welcome you specially to this particular broadcast. Today, I want to share some few secrets of a life of success with you, and I would really appreciate it if you can make a good use of it. And what I want you to understand is that every single one being created for greatness. We have all been made for a life of absolute greatness. But you realize there is a lot of huge success gap between the white man and the black man. And this black man that I'm referring to right now, I'm talking about the Aboriginal Africans. In this part of my world, I realized that a lot of people idolize folks easily. They kind of take on the success of other people. They want to become someone that they have not been created to become. And when a person tries to step out of the ordinary queue to become abnormal, to do something great for themselves, it seems as if the rest of the community just want to bow to them and worship them. And in the process of saying, okay, I just believe in this person, a lot of us even forget ourselves. We do not live the best of life that we have been created for. And it's most common in religious setting, in political setting also, most especially in religious setting, because one man decided to start an organization, organized religion, and because he shakes, he performs some gymnastic movement and all of that, we kind of see them as supernatural, and we are quick to begin to now worship them. And that is not what God has created it to be. You can learn from people, you can read from people, you can emulate people, but you should not become someone else that you have not been created to be. You know why? Because there are no two of you in this world. Look at your configuration, the way you speak, the way you talk. If you have not changed yourself, if you have not shortchanged yourself, look at the way you reason. You realize there's something very unique. Your DNA, your thumbprint, your fingerprint, and everything was created so that we don't have two of you in this world. But unfortunately, a lot of people would rather live under the shadow of others rather than for them to start and establish themselves. I've had a lot of great men who are becoming whom God has destined them to become, wanting to hide under my shadow. And they said, okay, can you mentor me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I try as much as possible to help them establish themselves, believe in themselves, do it exactly the way God wanted them to do it. Because if I have a replication of myself littering the whole universe, then it's not going to be fun. We need to be able to become our own uniqueness. We need to be able to bring our own dynamism into this world. Now, this is one thing I want you to know about the white person and the way they think. As a parent, the parent want the children to form their own hypothesis of life. So they encourage questioning. They encourage their children to question them. Why is this like this? Why is that going on like that? How can we make it better? And they encourage change. They encourage change. But in a typical African community, you would at least see a situation where you will be given the freedom of your own thought pattern, the freedom of your own uniqueness. When you try to live beyond the boundary that the community has set, you will often hear something like, you are proud. Yes. We live in a lot of inferiority complex people. People who are struggling with their own self esteem, who sees uniqueness and dynamism as something very, very dangerous for you to portray. And We don't even allow our children to celebrate their own success. When a child goes to school and becomes the first in the school, and the child tries to say, I am the best in my class, we tell them not to say that. We tell them to keep quiet. No, it's pride, that is pride. You don't say it. Don't tell people how good you are. Let people tell you how good you are. No, it doesn't work that way. We must be able to give our innate feeling and expression and be able to allow ourselves to confess the good part of ourselves and also be able to reaffirm and confirm to ourselves within ourselves how better we are, how good we are, how awesome we are. You should be able to look in the mirror and just evaluate yourself because the value you put on your life is the exact replication of what people give back to you. You might be looking so amazing wearing all the expensive jewelry in the world, and you look at the mirror and you say, oh, I look like a trash because you have actually pronounced trash on your life. When you go out, no matter how expensive you look, what people see is trash, 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 trash. Why? Because you have actually emitted something out. You have given your body an aura to emit negativity out. So no matter how much you try, the disposition of your art infects other people. And the way you call yourself, what you see yourself as, is what people see you as. No one can redefine you beyond what you are defined yourself to be. But unfortunately, in Africa, we see situation whereby people want to be the one who determine our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-appreciation, and everything about us. So when we try to say, okay, this is who I am and this is what I can do, they tell you that you are proud. And it's not like that. Why? Because they want to be the one who is appreciated all the time. And this thing is almost becoming an epidemic in all of African mentality, both at home and in diaspora, even those who were raised in outside Africa. And you see some people say, I am this person's follower, I can die for this person, I cannot bear to live at peace or harmony with you if you talk trash against the person that I love. And I begin to wonder, what about you? What about you? What about God, what God has destined you to be? What about you fighting for your own relevance? What about you establishing yourself as an authority? What about you becoming what God has created you to be? What about you leading your own revolution? What about you being the best in your area of calling? What about people also looking at you as a figure that is worthy of being listened to? What about you standing out of the crowd? What about you creating a niche for yourself? What about you becoming a brand that the world has never seen? Would you always hail, adore, hallow, and follow someone else for the rest of your life? And because we fail to establish it in ourselves, when we see our children trying to tow their own path, we call them to order in quote to follow someone. And we are always looking for mentor for them. We're always looking for leaders for them. We're always looking for someone to tell them how to live their life. And I once said something, I said, in this part of the world, the truth is never true until a celebrity that is living a lie says that it is true. In this part of the world, the truth is never true until a celebrity that is living a lie tells us that it is true. So we forever wait for someone to tell us that white is white, to tell us that black is dark, to tell us that the moon comes out in the night, to tell us that the sun is ruling the day. We always wait for somebody who will think for us. We were raised with that mentality of irresponsibility because we have been shortchanged by our mental disposition. So when we see someone who is doing something really spectacular, we quickly idolize them. We were raised as a mental orphan, mental orphan. An average African was not raised to believe in himself, to understand that he can do what others can do, even more than that. So when we see someone who tries to risk it all to become what God has destined them to be or what they really want to achieve in life, we kind of worship them and bow before them. But that is not what God intends for you to do or how He wants you to live your life. And that's why I'm telling you tonight that you can also create your own perfect resume. You can create your perfect kind of man. You can be the recommendation for yourself. You don't need to look at someone's way of life for you to form your hypothesis in life. There is originality residing inside of you. There is something in you that is so unique that money cannot buy. No matter how much experience you get from someone, or no matter how highly the school may be, if you don't look inward yourself, you will never be able to actualize who you are. And the world is missing out on something if you don't become what God has created you to be. And that's why some people are going to live a life of regret at the few minutes before they exit this world. Because you are depriving us of yourself. You are depriving the world of what you carry. And because you want to learn, you kind of get stuck in the moment of learning forever. Jesus Christ is a man whose example everybody should emulate. He modeled and mentored his disciples for few years, and he sent them out to become who God has created them to be. But we forever want to stay under the auspices or under the anointing, under the mentoring of those who have made meaning with their life. That's why they become a mini God to us. Why? Because we crown them as God. The reason why someone is trying to be the Lord and Savior of your life is because you made them become it. Without you giving anybody a consent to dictate for you, they cannot dictate your life for you. You are better than being dictated for. You are better than waiting on someone to lead your own revolution. You are better than looking up to someone as if they are the one who author and who will finish the course of your life. You are better than staying constantly under the sound of someone's voice when there are so much voices in your head that the world need to hear. You have listened to a message of someone 200, 450 million times. When is the world going to listen to your message? Or are you telling me that you came to this world without a message for this world? When are you going to become whom God has created you to become? So when you are under someone who always wants you to learn from them, whose life determines your own course in this world, you are under an oppressor. And that's why the population of the world will never be balanced in terms of the distribution of wealth. Why? Because we intentionally, by family training and geographical location, we intentionally make some people richer than us. We hate the idea of decentralization of the commonwealth that God has given to mankind. We also live with the mentality that some people were destined to be at the top all the time. Why? Because we always want to hide under them. We have been reprogrammed in life that success is meant for some special kind of people. We have been reconfigured in life to think that great feat can only be attained or be achieved by some special kind of people, while the rest of us just look on and we just wait for them to achieve it or just support them. Whereas you have been made as a priest and a king unto your God. What does a priest do? Speaks the mind of God, live the mind of God. What does a king do? Dominate and rule. You have not been created to be a second-hand product for someone. You have been made an original of yourself, the version of yourself that can never, ever, ever be created again. And that's one thing I want you to know. The moment the world lose out on what you carry, they never recover it again. Do you want to be the man who denies us of what you carry? You want to be the woman who denies us of what you carry? A lot of women right now who would have become great in life shortchange their life because of marriage. They were programmed to grow up, study either school or vocational skill, to get married, to have children, to train the children, to grow and to die. And that wasn't God's plan for you. God's plan for all mankind is to be fruitful, to multiply, and to do what? To dominate. So when you leave your area of dominance, your area of fruitfulness, you shortchange the world of the product of your domination. So what is the world benefiting from your existence? What is the world benefiting? Some of you will even die for other people's dream. That is one most ridiculous act I've seen in Africans. You will shortchange your own dream for another person's dream and die because of their dream. You are ready to disown your friends, your family. You are ready to fight dirty with them. You are ready to unfriend and block people. You are ready to castigate and molest people. You are ready to go all out against those whom you see because of those whom you can never see, who don't even know your name. And it makes me get to the point of weeping sometimes when I realize that common men are their own common enemy. Because the people you fight for at the top have a way of just reconciling their differences. But you fight with them who are there for you and will be there for you when those who will not be there don't show up. So you're ready to disown your family, your mother, your father, your children, everything because of this man and this woman who is living the best of their life, their own dream, whom you will never be able to meet, whom they don't even know your name. And this is what I want you to know. Those who do things that count never wait to count them. People that do things that count, they don't wait behind to count them. Why? Because they are busy with their purpose. They don't count how many disciples they have. They don't count how many people are dying for them. They don't even count how many people are living because of them, because they are doing things that count. Would you forever live a life of tally and a contribution to the population of this world? Or you will rather stand out to become whom God has created you to be? There is power residing in you to become. When God made you, He made you to become, not to follow. Not to follow. He made you to become what He can become. Imagine that the Almighty God now follows someone around, now want to be mentored by someone. Imagine that the Almighty God is seeking the opinions of others before He can take a decision that affects his life. Imagine the Almighty God is kind of waiting on you before He can decide the next line of action. So God said, let us create man in our own image, after our own likeness, so that they can become like us. Your creation, the essence of your creation is ability to become the original version of yourself, not to follow someone else. Because each time you follow a person to the point of blindness and wanting to fight other people for that person, you have relinquished your position as an original version of yourself. You have divorced yourself. You have shortchanged yourself. You have disowned yourself. You have neglected yourself. You have terminated yourself. God wants the original version of you. He wants you to become what He has destined you to become. And it all starts from looking within for you to become without. It starts from looking within for you to become without. And that's why I'm going to tell you that the very first thing you need to understand in creating the perfect resume for yourself is to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. How much belief do you have in yourself? We have been raised to believe in others more than we believe in ourselves. An average African child was raised to believe in something outside. We were never raised to think of what is inside. See, everything you need to become better, to become a role model to others, to become a public figure, to become a better person, was created alongside with you. You see, that sperm that forms zygote in your mother's womb has all the ingredients you need to become the best version of yourself. But in this world, we were reconfigured and tormented. We were tampered with to see that what we need to become is outside of what we are. Whereas what you need to become has been embedded in your DNA, is inside of you. Ability to call it forth. He said, we call it the things that are not as though they are. Why? Because they are in existence inside of us. How do you raise your children? What words do you speak into their lives? Are you telling them to believe in themselves, or you are telling them to believe in others? And this life of comparison, your mates are getting A's in class. Why are you not getting A? That is the beginning of the destruction of the mentality of an average African child. Your friends are in science class. Why are you in art class? You destroy their self-esteem. You wives, you talk to your husbands. Is this what your mate, your friends outside, is this what men like you are giving to them? You mess his life up. And the moment you begin to compare your wife to someone else, you messed her life up. See, everybody was created with the original version of themselves. And what? You should be happy that they are in your life. You don't talk people down. You should be happy that they are in your life. It is a privilege for you to have the original version of another person as part of your life. So the best thing you can do is to become the original version of yourself. Believe in yourself like no one else believes in you. Never be ashamed of your personality. Never be ashamed of your thought pattern. Never be ashamed of the days of your loneliness. Never be ashamed of your configuration. If someone is tall, if someone is taller than you, they are too tall for the dream you are supposed to achieve. If someone is shorter than you, they are too short for your kind of dream. If someone is fatter than you, they are too fat for your kind of dream. There is a reason why you are like who you are. The reason why you are how you are is because you are the perfect fit for the dream you carry inside. So you must be proud of the way you are, the way God configured you. You were formed. He said you were created beautifully and wonderfully, fearfully also. You must be able to understand that your own peace is determined by you focusing on why God created you. Be contented in your own speed. Be the one who dictates your own pace in life. Don't compete with anybody. When I considered a board of trustees some time ago, and I made them realize that we are not in competition with anybody. We may not have the largest audience. We may not make the loudest noise. We will not play the politics, and we will not pull people down. I'm telling you, 92% of my board of trustees opted out, even before, even before the certificate of incorporation came out. They left. You must be able to determine why exactly God created you and how you want you to go about what He asked you to do. It starts all by believing in yourself. If I ask some of you today that what is the basis of your struggle, you can't tell me because you were sold an idea to by your pastor, by your imam, by that political leader. You don't even know why he's doing what he's doing. Maybe it's for personal motive. But because you cannot define your own life, you just have to have a dream to follow. And unfortunately, most of us, 85% of an average African child follows the dream of others. And we overemphasize on dreams that are meant to be on archive, while we forget to put our own dreams on the shelf. We overemphasize, we recycle on the dreams that are meant to be long gone because we are not putting our dreams on the shelf, forgetting that every dream have a shelf life. If you allow the time you should be using to display and manifest your dream to be invested in other people's dream, you can never get it back. It all starts from believing in yourself. How much of belief do you have in yourself? If I put you in the desert today, do you think you can make a city out of it? It's so difficult for a lot of people to start all over again, even though where they are is not convenient for them because they are product of connection. Where they are today is solely dependent on who they know. What they have become today is solely dependent on what other people say about them. No self-confidence, no self-motivation, no belief in self. So we play hypocrisy, we play church politics, we play office politics, we put politics in every part of our lives, even in family. And the moment you begin to play politics in order to nab success, you have denied your originality. You may be slow, but you will get there. Your dream may not require speed. Sometimes the slowest person gets to live longer. Sometimes the slowest one gets to live longer. It may seem as if I'm saying nonsense and jargons to you right now, but my word will count someday. My word will count someday. And while you believe in yourself, see, whatever your hand find to do, do it with all of your heart. Make excellence your life's policy. Remember that you are creating your own perfect resume. You want to create a man that you can recommend for yourself, even without you knowing. Make excellence your best policy. So if you're going to sing, sing like no one else will sing that song. Don't care what they say. Sing like what you are created to sing like. If you are created to talk, talk like yourself. I'm tired of motivational speakers who are trying to form phonetics. A typical Yoruba man trying to form American accent. You see, in the process of wanting to form, you lose out on the message. Be the best version of yourself. And always reach out for excellence. Reach out for excellence. Reach out for excellence. Let people miss your absence when you are no more there. Because if your presence is not felt, your absence will never be missed. If your presence is never felt, your absence will never be. So whatever it is that you have chosen to do, and you mustn't be the most successful person in the world. You mustn't be the one who has the largest policy, the largest platform rather. You mustn't be the one who has the largest name, the most popular church or the most popular organization. You mustn't be the one who has the largest crowd in church. See, you can be a leader that live long from generations to generation in your little corner. After all, life is about touching one person at a time, infecting them with your life so that they can infect others. Jesus was not particular about reaching out to the whole world in person. He was not particular about reaching out to the whole universe in person. He was just particular about reaching out to the 12. And from the 12, he took the 3. From the 3, he took the 1. And from the 1, he took himself. And he said, to you, I have given you this commission. Go and multiply and be my witness. He was so particular and focused in investing in few others who will become a yeast in the dough of this world. So you, while you're trying to become the one whom everybody knows, you become the one who no one knows because you'll be losing out on yourself. See, the fact that they know your name does not mean that they know who you are. Remember that your originality is what determines who you are, not the name that you bear. How original are you? How useful are you to the scheme of this kingdom? How original are you? Should reach out for excellence. Be the best version of whatever it is that you have chosen to do. You want to be a singer, be the best singer that portray your dream. You want to be a teacher, be the best teacher in your own order. Be the best teacher in your own order. You want to be a mother, be the best mother that a child could have. You can't do everything. You cannot do everything. But the few that you have chosen to do it to the best of your knowledge. Let it be said while you are dying that you did your best for humanity. You can't do everything. You can't be everywhere. But the few you are doing, let someone who come after you find it so difficult to break your record. Let them find it so hard to break the record that you have set. See, there are some little records that are hard to break, and there are some big records that are easy to break. Be the one who set the little record that are hard to break. By setting the little record that is hard to break, you're actually setting a big record for the world to mind. Another thing I want you to know is that you must not stop learning. You must not stop learning. You must not stop learning. And in learning, don't be partial. Don't be too faithful to one source of knowledge. In learning, don't be too faithful to one source of knowledge. I'm this person's follower. I'm an advent of this one. I'm this Baba follower. I'm this person's follower. I cannot yet. You must be able to cherry pick and go around. Knowledge is a bouquet, is a buffet. You must be able to go around and seek knowledge anywhere you could get it. Seek knowledge, because in the multitude of knowledge, you are able to get wisdom. Do not shut yourself totally to the voice of your antagonist and your opposition. Because in the multitude of counsel, a nation is held strong. So sometimes your critic are passing strong message that will be useful for you in a negative way. Your critic, your antagonist, your opposition, they were planted there to make you better. Only that they are passing the message across in a negative way. So what you want to do, you pick the message, you leave the feelings. You pick the message, you leave the feelings. Simple as that. But don't miss out on the message. Learn, be better. Be better. Don't be static when it comes to knowledge acquisition, both academic knowledge, vocational knowledge, and especially when you are in the counsel of those who are godly. When you are the counsel of those who are godly, make good friends for yourself. Friends that are wisdom personified. They don't need to be a megastar or a celebrity or a public figure, but make sure that you are always and constantly found in the counsel of the godly. Those who speak word of life to you, those who knows the mind of Christ, those who can deliberate with you and pass wisdom across to you. Make friends with people who knows better than you are. And do not neglect the knowledge that your oppositions are passing across to you. Because you never can tell through which channel God is going to reach out to you. And I want you to also be significantly useful while you wait. I don't promise you success outrightly. I don't promise you success that you're going to be successful all of a sudden. As a matter of fact, if you become successful all of a sudden, you should be scared. You should be scared. Success that lasts comes gradually. Because whatever comes fast never lasts long. Whatever comes fast never ever lasts long. So while you are waiting for you to get to the position to establish yourself, to be the best version of yourself, see where you are right now, be significantly useful. Let them miss you when you are not around. While you are trying to be a moon, be a good star. When you're trying to be a better plane, be a good vehicle. While you're trying to be a perfect husband, you can also be a very good fiancé. Start from somewhere. Don't be too ambitious. It's good to dream big, but when you become over ambitious, you lose out on every of your vision and dream. So start right where you are right now and make the most of it, because you are building and creating a perfect resume for yourself. They are going to ask you, before you get to this spot, what were you doing? People should be able to tell you, to give them a 10-year resume of yourself prior to where you are right now, and you'll be able to give them detail. And these details are not just scanty details that are not useful, details that are very, very useful and life impacting. Start from somewhere and be significant in every step you make all through. And know that ideas, good things, success don't come without emotion. In fact, emotion is a prerequisite to change. But when you have this emotion, channel it in the right way to the benefit and the betterment of your nation and of humanity that lives within you. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Be a better man that can be infectious, that can affect lives, that can bring happiness, whose life is a welcome party to others who never had the opportunity you had. So while you are waiting, building your dream, is your life giving life to the living? Because when it's all said and done, what matters is what you do for the living and not what you do for a living. What matters is what you do for the living, not what you do for a living. Channel your emotion in such a way that it carries people along. Channel it in such a way that whatever greater good you want to achieve, humanity is the only beneficiary of that good. That's how you get to create the perfect resume for yourself. If you make use of all these steps that I've given to you, there's no way you are not going to be great eventually. You might not be the greatest, but you are going to be reckoned with. And one of the mistakes we make is that everybody is gunning for a global recognition and we neglect our grassroots relevance. Everybody wants to be globally recognized, so much so that we neglect our grassroots relevance. Start from where you are right now. Lead from your corner. Let your life be impactful on other people who sees you, who meet you on a daily basis, because they are the one who holds the database for your resume. Because when we want to confirm your genuinity, we go to your neighborhood, we ask people who know you, not from you, but from them. How good are you to the person standing right next to you, to the people in your family, to those in your neighborhood, to people that you employ? How good are you to those you have worked with? How good are you to your teammate and your team member? How good are you when you are not there? Will people give us the same testimony that you are saying or giving regarding yourself? And that's simply it for today. And thank you very much for joining me. God bless you and see you some other time. Grace be with you now. Bye for now.